Hi BookTube, it's Peg at the History Shelf. I am back again for another video. This is, it's Wednesday, March 31st. I would like it to be like a monthly wrap-up, but it won't be monthly wrap-up slash some new books that arrived slash things that have been on my mind, things I've noticed, how I'm staying sane in the the lockdown, the quarantine, and all that good stuff, and trying to find out what you guys are doing to keep occupied and to have a sense of rhythm and schedule and just stuff like that. I thought this would be a very informal video. It's been a crazy month. I think most of our lives have really taken a change since March 1st. First of all, I hope everyone's doing well out there, is feeling well, and staying safe and washing hands and all that good stuff. So the first things I wanted to start off with is I have several books that I need to show you that just kind of came in here and there, and they're on the floor next to me because I was like, I don't want to shelf them until I show you them. And then I did get two arrivals. I don't know if you can see them behind me. Well, they're on the floor, and I have a laptop on top of them. But Book Outlet and HamiltonBook.com. So I'll have a book haul video or two coming. I guess I'm trying to save those for a rainy day. And I'm also trying to make sure I'm cleaning out some stuff and shelving these new books. But as far as like starting April, so I don't know if I'm going to do an April TBR, but I probably should. I haven't decided because I hate kind of, sometimes I just don't like saying things and then, I'm going to read these 5 books, and then I read 2, but I know I've definitely committed to at least 3, so I guess I could show those to you, but I think you've already seen them in a sense, but I'll be doing a read-along in April with John David. We're going to be reading, and Sharon Goforth and Hannah at Hannah's Books. We're going to be reading this biography on Thoreau, A Life, Henry David Thoreau, A Life by Laura Dasso Wells. So I was able to buy a very, very nice used copy. I think I got it from Midtown Scholar bookstore. I love ordering used books from them because they're always just gorgeous. We are also doing the Tardy Trollop a read-along because I was not prepared for March to do The Way We Live Now by Anthony Trollope, but I'll be reading that with John, Sharon, and Hannah. I think Hannah already has. I think it's just me and John and Sharon. But anyway, we're reading The Way We Live Now, and if you guys, anyone out there that wasn't able to join in March for the Trollope read-along, feel free to join our little tardy Lonely Trollops group. That's what we're calling it anyway. And then I am doing another read-along, totally committed because I spent $20 on this copy. A read-along with David Murphy for Thomas Sowell, who I love. And this is Basic Economics, a Common Sense Guide to the Economy. You guys, how about them apples? 5th edition. So this is like the biggest edition so far, and I figure, go big or go home, and the irony is I have almost every other book the guy's written, except this one. But anyway, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what I'm going to learn. I like learning, and I need to understand more about how the economy works. It's just one of my my areas that I want to really bone up on and get better at. So, David, I'm looking forward to that. I've got the book ready to go. Guess we're starting to read tomorrow, and I guess I need to know if we've broken it down by how many chapters a week. I don't know. I'll just get started. I'll probably have to really make a dent in that over the weekend. So that's one of the new books I got. It just arrived today, actually. Thomas Sowell, Basic Economics. I highly encourage any one of you guys to check out Thomas Sowell. Some of the interviews he's done on Uncommon Knowledge with Peter Robinson, I really enjoy. Uncommon Knowledge, it's a great show. It's fully in Hoover Institute or Institution puts that on, and you can find it on YouTube. Okay, so here and there I had some purchases. This one is literature, and I decided to get this because I do want to read more of the classics. And I've heard there's been some kerfluffles or disagreements among people I've read either on Twitter or just out there in the booktube world about, is Charles Dickens all that? Or is he's overrated, underrated, whatever. And frankly, I think the last thing I read by him was A Tale of Two Cities, which I enjoy, but I think I was 15 when I read it. So I'd like to revisit that one, actually. I remembered as a little girl, even younger than that, I read Great Expectations, and I loved it. Oh, I just loved that so much. But I thought I'd try a completely different book, not rereading one that, I read before. So this was on Amazon, and I love Everyman's Library. They have beautiful editions. And the price was like ridiculous. It was like 60% off. This is The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens. And it's lavishly illustrated. It has the a little bit of the artwork or the line drawings here. Yeah, so you know what? I thought, hey, never read The Pickwick Papers. Let me know out there, all you Dickens fans, if I chose correctly, or if you have another suggestion. I remember a video from David Murphy a while ago. I think it was about a year ago when he was still fairly new to BookTube, and I think he was tackling Bleak House. Now, from what I recall, I got the feeling that he said it was just okay, but yeah, let me know if that was the case, David. But Pickwick Papers is supposed to be kind of funny and charming, so we'll see how that goes. Yes?
Recommendation for BBC's adaptation of Bleak House with Gillian Anderson.
Yes.
She makes the most amazing constipated faces throughout it. It's like, yeah, like that. Like she is, I don't know, I haven't read the book, so maybe she's supposed to be like that. But it's a little bit of a foreshadowing of her portrayal of Thatcher, I'm thinking.
Oh, right.
No, it's just she's got this, like, she's always ill at ease. You've got to see it.
Okay, well, Gillian Anderson can do
like
no
the
wrong.
adaptation.
I know you love her.
Yeah.
And frankly, I think she's gonna knock it out of the house with Thatcher. I think she's gonna do great. But what Martine was just saying, in case you didn't hear, is that I should check out the BBC adaptation of Bleak House with Gillian Anderson.
Yes.
Just if alone because of the constipated looks that she gives.
Yes.
Like so.
She's just like, she's just so ill at ease at every given moment.
Oh, God bless her.
Anyway.
Love her, though. Yeah. We'll come back to that, because there's something I want to talk about with looks people give on TV. We're going to move into that area soon. So the next book, I've been meaning to, I've been trying to find good books on the history of Haiti. And in particular, I've always wanted to read more about the Duvaliers and was it Papa Doc and all those guys. Because as you know, I minor in dictators. Cannot get enough. I don't know why. I came across this book, and I had to have it. This is For Whom the Dogs Spy. Haiti, from the Duvalier Dictatorships to the Earthquake, Four Presidents and Beyond by Raymond A. Joseph. And what's interesting about this is Raymond A. Joseph is the former ambassador of Haiti to the United States. So he is writing it, as a native Haitian and who's kind of lived through it all. So in a sense, it's going to be very much his personal experience and views on that. And I'm always intrigued by that. I'll take a take it with a little grain of salt, since it is a, first-person account, but fascinated. Fascinated by it. Is this? I think they were the ones that also created the Tauntaun Makut, right? That was that like paramilitary or the bodyguards, the Tauntaun Makut. Anyway, if you guys, any of you erudite viewers of mine who have probably read several books on Haiti, I'm sure, or have a really good recommendation, please let me know. I do actually have a book which I need to show on my bookshelf tours. But
Boomer says what?
Boomer says what? This is by Elizabeth Abbott. And this is more of a straight scholarly history. This is Haiti, A Shattered Nation by Elizabeth Abbott. This is fairly recent. This came out... Well, I'll be damned. Okay, it's not very recent. Apparently, this is a reprint. This came out in 1988. And then it was revised and updated from... Oh, that's right. Revised and updated from Haiti, the Duvaliers, and Their Legacy. First published in 1988. So this came out in 2011 by... what do we got here? Overlook Duckworth. So this is cool. I'll have at least 2 books that I can reference. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of the Duvalier history in here, more from a historian perspective. And this is like more of a personal experience, account, someone who was actually ahead of, part of the government. So, then I got For Whom the Dogs Spy. I promise, guys, I'm going to be getting those bookshelf tours this weekend. Martine, remind me this weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
Bookshelf tours.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so moving on. I'm not sure how I just... this was very recent, and I think yes, these are both from Polity Books, which is it's a smallish publisher, I guess. But they have they've got a variety of stuff that can be, well, it's obviously very, political in nature, but they have some history. As you know, I love my Russian studies, and particularly, okay, can I just stop right there? I'm going crazy. I have to go there. My hair is looking horrible, and I can't go to the hair salon anytime soon.
So I don't... How many people think Peggy should let me shave her head?
No, we're not shaving my head. Don't vote.
Take it to the people. BookTube.
Don't encourage her.
Please.
Okay. I guess we're gonna have to try. I'm gonna have to try cutting my hair.
BookTube.
No.
Clippers or no?
You don't want to see my egg-shaped head completely bald. It's just not a good look. Okay. So please put up with this, guys. I know I'm going to be looking a little bit more ratty. The hair's going to be looking ratty as we go along, but I hope I can get things, as Jason Harrigan would call it, my fringe. I hope to keep my fringe in check. On point, on fleek. Okay, so Russian studies. I'm also very intrigued by the Putin reign. I say reign of terror, but I don't know, the present day situation in Russia and how it, in a way, is reverting back to the days of Stalin, but without the communism. It's definitely more of a, what would you call it, like a mobocracy, maybe? It's an oligarchy, autocracy. I'm just fascinated by it, and this book will really give me more, verbiage to kind of tell you what I think is happening there. This is The Return of the Russian Leviathan by Sergei Medvedev. So, yeah, let me just read you a quick synopsis of this. Russia's relationship with its neighbors and with the West has worsened dramatically in recent years. Under Putin's leadership, the country has annexed Crimea, begun a war in eastern Ukraine, used chemical weapons on the streets of the UK, and created an army of internet trolls to meddle in the US presidential elections. How should we understand this apparent relapse into aggressive imperialism and militarism? In this book, Sergei Medvedev argues that this new wave of Russian nationalism is the result of mentalities that have long been embedded within the Russian psyche. I love books that go into that. Whereas in the West, the turbulent social changes of the 1960s and a rising awareness of the legacy of colonialism have modernized attitudes, Russia has been stymied by an enduring sense of superiority over its neighbors, alongside a painful nostalgia for empire. I agree with that. It is this infantilized and irrational worldview that Putin and others have exploited, as seen most clearly in Russia's recent foreign policy decisions, including the annexation of Crimea. So this kind of goes into all that. That's the gist of it. This is a brand new book. Very colorful cover, as you can see. It's freaking out my autofocus. This was first published in Russian in 2017. So this is the, I guess, the first translation into English in 2020. Polity Press, brand new. Love that cover, though. Look at that. That orange and that red is just messing with my autofocus. This next book I'm excited for because this is, I think this is brand new, I think. This is the English edition. Okay. I've shown a book on here before by this author, Christian Ingrao, called Believe and Destroy. One moment. Oh, you saw my pajama pants. You know, you never, whatever. Okay, so we have Believe and Destroy, Intellectuals in the SS War Machine. So Christian Ingrao has written this very dark work. And then this is brand new, so this must be a new reprint. This came out in 2019. I think it came out last fall. But it's still very new. And this is The Promise of the East, Nazi Hopes and Genocide, 1939 to 43. I'll give you a synopsis of this book. How did the Nazis imagine their victory in the subsequent 1,000-year Reich? Between 1939 and 43, the Nazi imperial utopia started to take shape in the conquered areas of Eastern Europe, brutally emptied of their inhabitants, who were displaced, reduced to slavery, and, in the case of the Jews and a considerable number of Slavs, murdered. This utopia had its engineers, its agencies, and its pioneers, no fewer than 27,000 Germans, most of them young. It aroused fervent support. In the 1,000-year Reich, with its borders extended by conquest, a racially pure community would soon live a life of peace and prosperity and total harmony. In this book, renowned historian Christian Ingrao draws on extensive archival material to shed new light on this movement and explain how it could prove so appealing, examining the coherence and the inner contradictions of the activities undertaken by the different institutions, the careers of the women and men who played a part in them, and the ambitious plans that were drawn up. Ingrao adopts a social anthropological point of view to investigate the emotions aroused by the Nazi dream, and describes not just the hatred and the anxieties it fed on, but also the joys and expectations it created, two sides of a single reality. As we learn from the terrible violence unleashed across the region of Zamość, on the border between Poland and Ukraine, the hopes of the Nazis became a nightmare for the native populations. This important work reveals an aspect of Nazism that is often overlooked and greatly extends our understanding of the general framework in which the Holocaust was realized. It will find a wide audience among students and scholars of modern German history and among a broad general readership. Interesting. So this makes a very good companion, obviously, to Believe and Destroy. So Christian, that was also a polity book. Christian Ingrao. All right. And then the final book I got, I'm trying to remember where I ordered it used because it was quite expensive. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, this is a Liberty Fund book. And I think I did try to purchase this used. Because I don't think they have this in print anymore. I found it on Amazon, I think. Well, oh, let me see if I have it. So, just as a reference, you guys, so I subscribe to this magazine, or this journal. It's about Modern Age, a Conservative Review. And it's very intellectually rigorous. This is not like, there's a lot of philosophy books, literature, yeah, a lot of Burke and Russell Kirk in here. Good stuff. And Modern Age has been around for a while. It's printed by published by Intercollegiate Studies Institute. So I have a subscription for a few years now. But I didn't know that this existed. This is a collection of all of their all of their articles. The first 25 years of Modern Age, and they have that same color, that same type of cover, and the colors, and I just love that. And I love books of essays or articles. And this is a selection, so I guess it's not all. And as you can see, it is. That's how you know it's Liberty Fund, baby. They get that it's like cuneiform writing, that first written word meaning freedom, or liberty, duh. And don't sing it.
I wasn't going to.
Okay.
Everybody's singing it in their heads.
Okay. So, got articles in here by Richard Weaver, who wrote Ideas Have Consequences. It starts off with Richard Weaver, and just juicy, like heady articles and essays that I just can't wait to dive into. There's a section on art and criticism. They kind of break it down into like the first section of essays or articles are concepts of conservatism. Then the second section is on conservative thinkers. And of course they start off with like Edmund Burke and then Disraeli, Tocqueville, Leo Strauss, and then Roots of American Order. We got The Rhetoric of Alexander Hamilton by Forrest MacDonald. I mean, there's a lot of great articles in here. Russell Kirk. Ton of stuff, guys. And what's great about this book, it's not your average sized book. So look, it's rather big. So when it lays flat, and the print is, you've got 4 columns of print. And this tops out at, here's a chunkster for charity. I doubt I'll be reading all of this in one sitting. Well, not one sitting, but I think this will be something I'll work my way through and kind of jump around. Have a little freedom. This is about 900 pages. First 25, and it has a wonderful, brilliantly new smell. I just love it. Even though it's used, it is in perfect condition. So, Modern Age, the first 25 years, a selection. Okay. So those are some of the new arrivals to the history shelf. And now for something completely different. Yeah, this will be maybe a 30-minute video just because I want to kind of catch up with you guys and just mention a few things I've been noticing over the quarantine. At first I thought it might make a neat tag, but I realized it's really more of just a conversation. I am sorry, my hair is dry. I might have to wear a ball cap next time, you guys.
Take out the clippers right now.
No.
Play it first.
So I make the assumption that, many of you watch TV at some point. I know there's a lot of readers out there that don't have cable or don't really watch, or if they do, it's very limited, and that's fine. That's great. Just wondering how much of the news you're watching. We mostly will watch CNN just to get our updates, and it's been on a lot as we wake up in the morning and want to see what new city is rapidly succumbing, just to stay in the know, I guess. But anyway, as you watch the news more and more, have you noticed now we are privy, as bookish people, we are privy to seeing a lot of these hosts and telejournalists, whatever, broadcasting from their homes. And a lot of them will do it in front of a bookcase. Now, a lot of times the bookcase is not full, which I don't understand. They'll have a lot of knickknacks and stuff. But I want to know how many of you have been like spying the bookcases or looking at the books, trying to like lean in and see which books that person has. Like, I can't remember who it was, but one of them had like, I could see they had a Doris Kearns Goodwin, The Bully Pulpit. I was like, oh, they got The Bully Pulpit. I have that. And it was turning into a game. So now every time they have like a journalist or even a doctor or someone they're interviewing and there's books in the background on their shelves, I'm always like, hey.
Yeah, David Gergen had one, but it wasn't.
David Gergen, yeah.
But it wasn't the one you're talking about.
It wasn't. But I'm just wondering, you guys, if you've noticed have you been having any book envy or bookshelf envy of the...
Or bookshelf disrespect.
Or bookshelf disrespect. Yes. One woman had her name as if she were 16 years old. One woman had her name like sitting in the background on the shelf, What was it? Casey.
Casey Hunt. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I was like, Actually, Martine really noticed it, and I was like, "What am I seeing here? Her name."
She had also the thing that you took umbrage to was the color coordinated books.
This is a shout out to you, Andrew B. This woman, yes, she had books. Let's give her credit for having books, but no, they were color coded. The top shelf went from red to orange to yellow, or so it was just like, here's red. Next shelf, here's the blues. You lose so many points when I see that.
Even if she did have the Churchill collection.
Oh, but yes, thank you. That was the one. But she had the Churchill collection, which I have, which is the, I'll have to show it to you. But it's upstairs right now. Was it The Coming Crisis or something? Or the World War II?
It was the recent box set.
It was the recent box set on World War II, Churchill's history. So she had that on the bottom shelf, but then you look up, and then everything else is like color coded. You know what? The way it was sitting there, I think she put it there on purpose.
She's like, oh crap, I gotta look brainy.
She's like, she did. She felt some pressure to look intellectual. So it just seemed out of place. It was just sitting there like at an odd angle. But anyway.
I think Gloria Borger had the Bully Pulpit.
Gloria Bolger. Yeah, she did, I think. Yeah. She's kind of a smart lady.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not up on my personages. But, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But.
What?
Well, speaking of disrespect.
Yes. Tell me.
Lady Chatterley.
Oh my God, how could I forget?
This was the whole
point of me bringing this up. Okay, so...
Did Lizzie Borden do it, Peggy?
Lizzie Borden. I'll never live that down. So what I mentioned earlier about looks and stuff, okay, yes. We've covered the bookshelf envy, bookshelf disrespect of TV commentators during this pandemic. So please chime in below with any comments you have or things you've noticed. Would love to know. All right. So I've never watched this much news in my life, okay? So, normally I would never see these people. Well, apparently there's one lady on CNN whom we like to call Lady Chatterley's lover.
Yeah.
Her name's Julia Chatterley. But she refuses to sit like everyone else. Like, I'm facing you guys straight on, head on, right? Now this would really work if I had a long wig with black hair and was all like,
And like the eyeliner.
and white eyeliner was all sultry looking.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Every time they cut to her, it's like this. Wait, do I need to do this? She's always off center, and I think it's meant on purpose.
Oh, of course.
Always meant on purpose, because she wants to do this. She's like looking head on, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Hi, Wolf."
And she's a finance person. Like, I don't know.
And she does that. It's just like her shoulders are off center, and it's just like, I don't understand people. Why are they posing when the world's on fire, you know?
Although Jake Tapper was like, yeah, okay.
Oh
And
yeah,
just
she was.
kept
Then
going.
she was dogging out. She goes, "Well, America's the next failed state," and he's like, Jake Tapper's all like, "Yeah, okay. Thanks, Julia. We'll talk to you later." It's like we don't need it, and she's an English woman. Yeah, we don't need you telling. Hey, we're still not. We still have the scars from the the revolution. We're not that big of a fan of you guys, you know. Oh. Anyway, guys, I know I kind of ended it on a chatty note, kind of moved away from the books. It's just the effect of not being able to be out among people, be in an office environment where I'm, cutting up with my coworkers, and I cut up with Martine. We do cut up, but it's mostly over this kind of silly stuff we see on TV. But we're trying to keep our sense of humor, and we sure hope all of you are too. But anyway, I don't know what to say. I think we're just gonna have to get through this together. If it takes being a little silly, let's get a little silly. This was a little silly ending for me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can survive the new Brad Thor. That'll be my thing.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying.
On a whim.
Cool whip.
Cool whip. On a whim. Well, I was browsing and I saw
wait.
that. Listen, I have to tell them.
Please.
I have to tell them.
She went looking.
I did want. Listen, Brad Thor. So he writes a book about every year, okay? And apparently he's got a new one coming out in June. And I always feel pressure because I still need to catch up. Even though I bought his last 2 books in hardcover, I still have yet to read them.
You keep looking at the photos and not reading the pages.
He's a cool drink of water. I'm not gonna. Hey. But you know what? I told my sister, and I gave her the link. She goes, I don't know who he is. So I sent her the link. And she's like, he looks like a car salesman.
I like your sister.
I know you like my sister. She goes, he's okay. She goes, he's okay. Looks like a salesman. I'm like, excuse me.
Brad Thor.
It's Brad Thor. Anyway, so he's got a new book coming out, and then I felt the need to hurry up my series reading, so I ordered The First Commandment, which I think is book 6 or 7 in the series. But that won't get here until... You'll be happy to hear this, Martine. It won't get here for another few weeks because it's one of those shipments that Amazon says this is not essential.
Yeah, I totally agree with Amazon on this one.
She agrees with Amazon. They're like, this is not essential, but they shipped out like Charles Dickens. They're like, well, Charles Dickens is essential reading in a pandemic.
Taste, honey.
They have taste. They saw the Brad Thor thriller, like, no.
They were like, yeah, that's crap.
Listen, you know what? You gotta.
And he looks like a used car salesman.
He does not look like a used car salesman. He's an ex-Navy SEAL.
Yeah, well, that happens too.
Okay. But when that book comes, I will be showing it on this channel, and I'll have to wait until she's not in the room.
And then you gotta take care of the Sharpie situation, the felted pen situation. I won't do it again.
I will never. Yes, she knows. She knows. There will never be another book defaced. And I'm still reading. I'm still reading Thatcher, and
Has she gotten better yet?
I'm finding out interesting things about her.
Are any of them positive? Next question.
I'm going to reserve that judgment
Spoiler alert.
for my review.
No.
She says no. Spoiler alert. Listen, you know,
I'm not a good person.
to each their own, I guess.
No. No.
Okay, we're gonna go because I think we're gonna probably just take this offline as well. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Whoever is still left out there in the empty world, I will try to have better hair next time. I can't promise anything. I don't know what she's gonna do to my hair,
Mohawk.
but I don't think that's gonna look good either.
Caesar.
Caesar will not look good. I might try it though, just for fun.
Faux hawk.
I want Lady Chatterley's hair. Lady Chatterley is her own lover.
Yes, she is.
I say that because this woman is obviously very stuck on herself, so it's like Chatterley is her own lover. She loves herself. Anyway, sorry guys. Okay, you're probably like, she's really gone off the deep end. Haven't we all? Got lots of stuff for reading here at the History Shelf. Big read-along month between Trollope and Thoreau, and I'm reading Magdalena, River of Dreams, A Story of Columbia by Wade Davis, which is making me interested in wanting to, and then I ordered a book about the Yanomamo tribe. I just go down rabbit holes. I'll read something in this, and I'm like, I want to read about these native tribes there, you know? So I do have some more books coming, but they're mostly onesies and used. I have 2 book hauls, one for bookoutlet.com and one for Hamilton Book. They're both on the floor behind me in boxes. And what else? Bookshelf tours. That's the main order of the day, is I'm going to start loading. I'm just going to do a shelf or 2 at a time, see how long those videos are, and just start uploading them. So you guys can at least get to see book by book what I've got. And again, it'll be handheld. I won't be in it. I'll just kind of be pulling them out and zooming along. So I think that's the fastest way to get to make some headway, because I have a lot of bookshelves and I have bookshelves upstairs. So let's get it going. I mean, we might as well do this now while we're all stuck indoors, right?
As Chris Cuomo would say.
Let's get after it.
Mm-hmm. He's so handsome.
Yeah. He's so handsome. He's a handsome man. Sorry. We're going a little crazy, but we're making it fun. I want to just give a shout out to all my family and friends who might be watching. My mom, my dad, my sis, my aunts, my cousins. I don't think I have any uncles watching. Oh, maybe my Uncle Chuck. I'm not sure. But I just want to say hi to you guys. I hope you're all doing well out there and staying healthy. And miss you and love you. And you know, just reach out to those you can't see right now and call. Just give a call and you know, and just check on people. It's a time we need to stay together as much as we can. Okay, guys. I'll probably do a video this weekend, or yeah, who knows? If I get the a wild hair, I'll make another one later this week. So until next time, have a great night. Bye.